the general mail, and I will receive it that way. Let me find it here. It was actually a good question. They're all good questions. From Scott Colina. Hi, Ian. I recently discovered your YouTube channel, and I really enjoy it. I have a question, if you don't mind. I am interested in fishing bass tournaments, but I only have a 40 horsepower motor on my boat and no tournament experience. Do you have any suggestions of some tournaments I might look into fishing in southern Ontario? Well, dude, this is probably the question that comes up the most. It doesn't matter the horsepower size on your boat. Realistically, fishing tournaments is tough. I never ever fished in a club. A club is an option to go to. They're always looking for boaters, whether you have 200 horsepower or 20 horsepower. The first tournament series I ever fished was the CSFL. You know, it's kind of something you have to grow into. Start in your little boat, move yourself through the ranks. Maybe you enjoy it and you want to invest in a bigger boat. But tournament fishing, really, my suggestion is just jump in there and do it. Jump in there and fish. Show them what you got. It's not the same as fun fishing. So there is some learning curves to it, but don't be scared because you have a smaller horsepower. It just means you're going to have to fish really well in the area. Pre-fish the area you can run to. Manage your time. Lots of those guys who have big boats just run around the lake and don't catch anything anyway. So my friend Jerry Abel, a couple years ago, he fished a top bass event in his 14 foot with a 9.9 on it, and that guy cast a check against a pile of great anglers. So it's not the size of your boat. CSFL is where I started. It's a great place to start. If you go online on Facebook, there's all kinds of people putting on, you know, smaller events all over Ontario that you can be a part of and, you know, jump in that way. But the best advice I can give you, no matter what boat you have, if you have a live well in your boat, fish anything you want. You know, boats don't make people better. Not everybody has the greatest electronics. Just get out there and fish. Anybody can flip mat and catch great big largemouth. Whew! Heat advisory is on out here. I am headed to the post office to ship more apparel orders. That's the second time today. I went right when I got home from fishing. I was already at the post office. 2 trips today to the post office for apparel company. From right now, when you watch this vlog, until Father's Day, go to fearfishing.com, save yourself 30% on your whole order. All you gotta use is discount code Father's Day, no capitals, no space, one word, save 30%. I am headed to the post office. Amber is at the chiropractor, and them kids are in there playing video games. Alright, we had to go wash the truck. At my house, I park right here. The truck in the wintertime, but as you can see up here, there's power lines, and the birds shit all over my truck all summer. I just washed it in the most ghetto car wash ever. Big mistake. Look at this. What? Now I gotta figure out how to fix this. I'll have to mess with Mars bar. Struggle's real. It never goes right. Today has just been a horrible day since I woke up. No fish. Forgot everything at home. It's just one of them days. Right, we made it. Brother Marley, what do you think?
I think it's fixable.
You can fix that?
Everything's fixable.
Blair, come here. You see what the car wash did to Uncle E's truck? That's not good, eh? No. Should we write them a letter? We'll do that. We got this. We can fix it. Blair's got this. I was busy having a conversation with Blair. He's got her all hooked up now. Look at that. Fresh to death. Man, you're good at this, eh?
Like I do it for my job.
Yeah. You think you did this all day long. Blair, does it look good? Is it way better? Okay, good. Give me 5. Good work. We are going to put that one down as probably the most chaotic, can't believe I forgot everything kind of day. Man, it started out rough. Fishing was extremely tough on Rice Lake. I don't even know where those walleye went. It was so good. I heard it was so good all weekend. I just couldn't get those. I couldn't get those fish to go today. I just got home. Thank you so much, Mars Bar. Fixed the trim on my truck. The truck is ready to roll again. I'm beat, tired, exhausted. It is warm in Ontario. Anybody who thinks Canada is cold, come visit Ontario in the summer. It is going to be a hot one if this weather continues. It's going to be real hot summer. I like the hot, but you kind of need a couple days to get adjusted to it. First real day in the sun, fishing took quite a bit out of me. It was a good day. All around, could be much worse. Truck's washed, parked it back in the driveway too, so that means birds are going to crap on it. I'm going to go move the truck. I'm going to go make Ashton's lunch. Countdown is on. It's Monday right now. 4 more days. Bass opens. I'm so excited. I made plans with Mars tonight. We're going to Bass Fish Saturday. Kind of something we've never done before, but if it works out, there will be some giant smallmouth bass.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for
I thought you were
part
gonna
2.
start singing "Hey Jude."
Hey, June. Elvis sang that once.
Did he?
I watched it on
Oh, I
YouTube.
couldn't
I
imagine
love
that.
Elvis. Elvis is my hero.
I used to play that on flute.
Really?
Cobra concert band.
At band camp?
Yeah.
You played in the Cobra concert band.
I did.
Woo.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
And we
True
made
story.
it together, eh?
I played Robin Hood too. The Robin Hood theme.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Could you play it today if we buy you a flute?
No.
So if I bought a flute,
Totally forget how to play.
if we had a flute for the next webcast and we
I
put
have
you on
one.
the
It's
spot,
upstairs.
we have a flute here?
Yeah.
No way.
Swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I
It
didn't know
hasn't
this
been
about
played in 20 years at least.
you. Wow. Can you play the flute?
Yeah, of course I could play the flute.
Skin flute? Of course I can play the flute. Okay, Woody,
Yo.
what's your role? How do we describe?
your
how do
role?
what is your role?
What is your role in life? What?
You know, I was just driving down the street and
Yeah.
decided to pop in,
So-
and here we are in this webcast. I'm a production manager at a marketing company.
Yep. You spend a lot of your time abroad, traveling.
I do. We've got an office over in the Middle East.
Yes.
So always doing events over there, and that's a whole other world compared to what's happening here in North America. Like, if you mess up over there, they'll just shoot you.
Really?
That's a thing. I could go on in a
No
story
way.
about that, but my
No,
video
we,
guy.
We want to hear that story.
My-
Can
your
you
video
tell
guy.
us that story?
My video
They
guy.
shot your video guy?
So we're doing this big ceremony, and it comes time to roll the
Said
graduation.
no, shoot the video, not the video guy.
Roll the graduation video, and he hits play, and it plays in chipmunk speed
Oh no.
in front of
no.
the royal family and all the ministers.
no.
They get up, walk out, they're embarrassed, and it's a crime to embarrass the royal family there.
Oh, no.
So this guy, we had a bunch of transitions in video and lasers and stuff, and he took it upon himself to speed up his playlist because he thought the transitions were a little choppy, so he sped them up, but he sped up the whole thing, so hit the video. But then live, he rolls it in reverse, so it's like tries to correct the frame rate and plays it in zombie mode.
Oh. He must have been panicking at this point. He's probably just like,
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm on the comms, cut it, and he just won't cut it. And so I physically reach over and pull the HDSDI cable out.
No
Goes to black
way.
screen. And yeah, there's like 450 people in the audience, students. So, and we haven't seen that video guy since.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
So yeah, you don't want to work over there.
Wow, that's intense. That's worse than Mexico.
Double tap.
At least the guy knew you were there. His guys, they were like, we're out of here. We'll cut the cloth.
at least they didn't blame you.
No.
No.
You would.
Touch and go, eh?
Teflon. Yeah, it was like,
It's probably on your passport mark. Like screwed up video. Royal
What?
family. Woody.
I was 4 days late coming home. I had to call Kate, my wife. I'm like, they've got my passport. I can't come home right now because there's an investigation.
way.
And she's like, you're never going back. Turns out I'm going back November 15th. But
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
intense.
That is
So,
intense.
marketing. If there's young people out here who have inspiring fishing careers, I know we get lost a lot in the pro staffing and those 20% off deals. If young people want to make a go at this, what do they need to do?
you really got to be really good. You got to
Yeah.
be winning all the time or be a disruptor. You got to
Gotcha.
come in and shake the industry upside down.
I got that.
Yeah, I think you guys are on to
I
it.
got
Got
that.
this.
You're a bit of a dick.
Now, winning part, but the other part, shit disturbing, check.
And if you can get the combo, winning and be a disruptor, you got it made. Sponsors are come knocking at your door.
Yeah, we need to work on the winning part.
Keep winning.
Yeah.
1 million views, 100K in followers. That's really that's the number right now.
Now, how do young people get there? Because it seems like a mighty, long. It looks like Everest when you have one subscriber.
Be authentic
Yep.
and know your stuff.
Yeah.
Know what you're doing. Be honest about it, and don't just jump at the first sponsor that comes in and says, "I'm going to give you 20% off if you rep my stuff." If you truly believe in it, go for it.
Yep.
But believe in what you have, and that's really as you go through this industry, and people are watching you and what you're doing. They're going to start to believe in you and buy in.
Yeah.
But content, which you guys
Yes.
are producing for sure,
We produce a lot of content here.
and not just
Other than deer season.
You do.
Deer season gets a little slow. But the rest of the time, content. I think we have over 30 hours this year of just us talking in this room. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
When can I pick up my check?
Yeah.
When we get one.
I don't know.
There we go. Deal.
I mean, as marketers, we're in the
It's in the garage.
Yeah. I'll go get it.
check. We're in the background. People are scanning the social pages and the networks. Who's making noise?
Yeah.
What's happening out there? And if you're making enough noise by disrupting or winning, you're going to start to see people knocking on the doors.
I think that's a big thing, right? And I really see it in the fishing industry. You should hold, like, when you start creating content, you should really hold your value. Don't just give it away.
Yeah.
Don't just get real excited because somebody came to you and they were like, hey, I really like what you're doing. We're going to send you 2 hats, and then every hat after that you can buy for 20% off. If somebody reached out and sent you that email, they're a lot more interested in you than you think you are. And if you turn down that shitty deal, there's another guy behind there who didn't reach out to you who went, keep your eye on him.
Absolutely.
Right?
Same thing in music, as like Bracken and I would know. Like, there's scouts and reps and hockey and every sport and music. They're listening.
So in the big scheme of things, we have like a 3-way triangle. I've known you since before I was born. I have childhood pictures. I have,
One of those.
We were in that sack of balls
That's
together.
like Brian and Sean.
I have pictures upstairs of when I'm an infant and Woody is like 3 or 4 on like some train trip that our parents took together, right? And then you and I became friends in
Back
like
when they
grade
traveled
7
on
or 8
trains.
when we played soccer together. And then somewhere in that time, you met Woody and you guys played music together.
It's like grade 7, actually. So
grade 8.
grade 7 or 8. Like, yeah, full disclosure, he is one of the reasons I continued to play music.
No way.
Yeah, like you were one of the biggest motivations.
Oh wow, which is that's
So
just
this
funny.
is like the
Not trying to
ultimate-
get too like
This is the
deep
ultimate
here,
small town life
but,
because
yeah.
Brian and I also share an ex-girlfriend.
I also
Still?
all right.
Still.
Still?
Welcome to
I like-
Bordeaux. Not Amy.
Serious question.
Yeah.
I
I asked Amy. She wouldn't make out with me in grade 8. No, I'm not. I didn't even know Amy in grade 8.
It was grade 9. I asked her, but she wouldn't.
She was
wouldn't,
like,
so
"Get
I
out
was
of
like,
here." But yeah,
No,
it's-
and same thing. Like I would, I started playing music. Basically, I had a guitar sitting in my closet.
Yeah.
And
the one you didn't hit your
Woody
brother
was-
with.
No, the one that was still in one piece.
Intact.
And
The red Stratocaster.
yeah,
looking thing.
yeah, you remember the thing, and so Woody was getting together with some guys at school and jamming, making some noise. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
they're making music, and I love music, but I never quite figured it out. But I have an instrument, so I
There's something
brought
special
it
about
in.
a band, eh?
I brought
like
it
when
in.
you're in a band, especially in your teenage years. Like there's something real special about that.
Oh yeah, and there was quite the camaraderie there and stuff too, and especially in I don't know, a small town, it seems like it's there's only so much to do.
It's like
But-
being married to 5 people.
Yeah, it is. So it is like, but
who were the brothers
what?
who you played with? One played the.
The Saunders.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gary and Greg.
I remember
There you
that.
go.
I remember I went to St. Mark's Church one time to watch you guys play.
did you really?
Wow.
I did.
Wow. That's crazy.
I
That was
did.
like right at the very beginning. So what happened though is I think at one point, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I don't know, I might have been on the outside, but those guys were just like, no, we're not playing with this guy, kind of thing.
With you?
Yeah.
I can
Like,
totally see why. No,
right?
I'm kidding.
Right? and I think
He's out.
and that would have probably been it for me.
That's
but,
how I feel about my fishing career.
but
They're
I
like,
think-
oh, we're not playing with that guy.
But then, well, in all fairness, like I sucked. Like then they're just like, nah, he's no good. And Woody's like, no, like I'm jamming with this guy. So next thing you know, we went on without them eventually, and we started a own band, and we were in a band together for years. And
Really?
all
What was the
through high
band
school,
called?
and
It's that time we invited them to the sportsman show, and then they showed up with their dad.
Ah.
And we're like, what are you guys doing here? And ignored us the whole time. That's when they were out of the band.
What was your band called?
Instrumental Cases.
yeah, then-
Luminous.
yeah.
What's in a good band
And then we
name?
rebranded after that. Once, yeah, Scratch 3.
So, Scratch 3?
Scratch
Yeah.
3.
Isn't that like an actual band now? I don't know.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No.
So what, like, it seems like the fishing and marketing yourself in fishing is a whole lot similar to marketing yourself in music. You get a product, try to sell the product, try to get people to follow your product, and then hopefully some kind of like talent scout or something shows up and they're like, we like your product.
Yeah, we like your song. It's a hit. Or you're winning. Or, you're authentic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or-
And I've heard that over the years
you're
too.
a
They
dick.
just
From
think that
large, very large fishing companies who say, we don't really care about your numbers. We care that you're authentic. We'd
Yeah.
rather you reach 3,000
You don't get that in the
people.
music industry.
Like, we'd really rather you reach 3,000 people who really care about your product and what you're saying than 300,000 people who are doing other stuff while they watch.
Exactly. Organic growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. No, we don't get quite that same take.
It's not that good in music?
In music. Well, because really,
What's that like
it's all
a-
about numbers. If people can't make money off you, then and
What's
there's only
that-
so many places where they can make money too, right? So
What's that new kind of record deal? Like a 365 deal?
the 360 deal.
360, yeah.
It's I don't think I know a lot of people that have taken record deals that it just have never come out on the
Any
good
kind of-
side.
yeah.
Record deal
of
could
anything.
kill you.
Yeah, it destroyed so many artists.
Well,
That's why
that's
there's
the
so many
big thing,
famous
right?
artists
Yeah.
that we used to love too, like
Yeah.
that have ended up like living in a van or like
Down
like
by the river.
people that we don't even know that we think that were so successful and really they've been through bankruptcy and they're serving coffee somewhere
Sure.
right now and still
That's
playing
crazy.
gigs.
You
and-
could sign a 3-album deal and get $3 million, and you got to spend the next foreverdom paying off that $3 million and writing enough songs to get 3 albums. And you may write 3 albums, and they might not like any of it.
Yeah, they might not put any attention towards you.
Yeah,
They
you
might
might just get buried.
Well,
They-
that's
they,
the
they
thing,
say
too.
you owe us this money,
Like, I didn't
and we'll
know
work
this.
for you. But they can just
Yeah.
decide to not work for you and work for someone else, and then they just but you still owe us all that money.
Yeah.
So
I
it can
didn't
get
realize in the record industry that like when so you sign your deal, and I listened to this on Rogan. You sign your deal, right, and then you need a tour, but realistically, you're paying for your own tour. Just the record company's paying for it up front,
Yeah.
hoping that you're going to sell so much that they're going to at least
Yeah.
to recoup their money.
We've tried
That's-
to recoup.
And
It's
you're
in
not
advance.
seeing any cash,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, that's what they call it in
all
advance,
the
right?
parties and all the limos and all the
Anything. They'll throw you a party. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
get signed. Let's throw you a big party. Let's this and that. We'll have everyone there. We'll have this there. We'll have that there. But they really that's going
It's
on
your-
that's going
yeah.
on your bill.
And
That's
your
your tab.
tab.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's kind of like the pro staff deal in fishing where you get 20% off to market somebody's product. But at the end of
You're
the day,
paying them to
they're
market
probably
their
still
product.
making 20% profit off you while you work your butt off trying to advertise for this company.
Yeah.
It's not a whole lot
Sounds-
different than that, right? It's not ever going to equal any bank in your buck.
You got to hold out, do it DIY. Friends of ours, Matt Drake and
Yeah.
Sky Sweetnam, they have this band called Sumo Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And they make all their own music videos. They don't need a label. They've now just got some management pushing behind them. But same with like FearFishing. You guys
But they
are
do
everything
all
yourself.
all their production, everything's all in house. Their merch I think was all in house too.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
man, but like talk about like like that's they're hustling. Like it's definitely some.
It's a grind.
That's a grind.
Yeah,
like
it's a grind.
They're putting your work in for sure.
Like yeah. I think watching from the outside in, everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side, right? And like you don't get a like lots of these rappers who are blinging with their bling. This is rented bling. Like
Yeah.
they're not taking
Yeah,
this
yeah,
bling
yeah.
home.
yeah,
They're going to
not
like
driving
their
that car home.
No,
They're not taking
They're
that-
going
yeah.
to like their 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, and there's only so much that how far they can go to with all that stuff. Like eventually the IRS is gonna see what's
Yeah.
going on, and they're gonna be, and that's like once again everyone from like Lady Gaga, Michael Jackson for crying out loud.
Yeah.
He owned the Beatles songs, and
For
plus,
sure.
let alone his own, and he still went bankrupt. Right,
He had to
Like,
sell those songs to Paul McCartney.
Lady
Right.
Gaga.
Yeah, like in the end.
bankrupt. Who else? Like Willie Nelson. Like all these.
Anybody
different-
who likes music should go and watch the. There's an actual really good YouTube Paul McCartney interview where he tells Michael asked Paul McCartney in the late
Yeah.
70s, early 80s,
Paul told
what
him.
should you do with your money?
He said buy.
And he's like, you should
rights.
invest in music catalogs. And he's like, oh, I'm going to buy your music. And Paul's like, yeah, sure. Next thing Paul knew,
Yeah.
Michael owned the Beatles rights,
Yeah.
Right.
right? And he didn't get them back till after Michael had died.
Yep.
Bought them at auction. That's a pretty, like, if you think about, like, owning your brand, probably, arguably the biggest band and musician. That man had to wait 40 years
Yeah.
to own his own music.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's tough, right? It's not what people. I think people get this sense at home where you see somebody write music or singing all the time or fishing all the time, and you think, man, that guy's rich. Like that's your first social
Sure,
media
That's
That's
their
the
job.
reaction.
That's their job to make it look like that. Like they try, they paint that picture. Like they did it to all of us. Like when we were kids, we're all duped a little bit. Like it was
Oh,
all
for
kinda-
sure.
right? Like
I
it's
was
like-
duped into fishing until I was like 35.
Yeah, right.
Right?
You get a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. You,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
end up in the industry and playing a part in it and being next to these people.
I always think
I
it's
was just
interesting when
listening.
I always think it's interesting when people come up to me and at like a fishing show or a tackle sale or at the gas station, right? And they roll up in this super nice truck and they're like, "Yo, bro, I wish I had your life." And all I can think in my head is,
I wish I had your truck.
"Bro, I wish I didn't have to make the payments on this truck." And what?
Craft dinner and hot dogs.
You put $120 of gas in your truck today? Wow, what's that like?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's totally different than what people think it is.
It usually really is. Yeah.
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 In the music industry, in the fishing industry, and there's got to be a ton of more. Acting's got to be the same thing, right? There's got to be a ton of guys or women who took really shitty acting gigs who got paid next to nothing.
Yeah.
That these movies blew up, and then all of a
Did it-
sudden they're on
Nicolas Cage
TMZ.
Nicholas Cage
Well,
went
Tits
broke,
up, yeah.
And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing B
He's still
and
broke,
C
isn't he?
and D movies now
Yeah.
just to make
Oh yeah.
life.
It's and there's countless amount of people. Like if you look it up, you'll see there's like a famous like stars that you figured that are have problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because it's a lifestyle. Like you got to constantly pay to be in it and doing it too. And
I always tell the kids that
it's
too.
a-
It's harder to be the most popular kid in your school than it is to be the child who kind of doing their own thing. Because if you're just doing your own thing, that's what's expected of you. If you're the most popular kid in your school, you need to be doing stuff to be popular all the time. You
Right.
didn't get there. Like, you got to up the game. You got to up the game. You got to up the game. Because there's other kids down here who are like, I'm going to be the popular kid. I'm going to throw a bigger party. Right? It kind of works like that in the fishing and music world, right? The pressure's on music guys to write the next big song.
Yeah.
And the pressure's on me to do like the next inventive idea. Like when we started the podcast, 67 episodes again, I'd heard of Mike's show, Mike Live, and I'd heard of BTL. And that was it. If you go on the internet today on a Wednesday, there's 7 or 8 fishing podcasts. Right? And that's only like 3 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? So
nobody's ever
the
far
pressure
behind.
is on us.
And it's not easy, right?
No, it's
Being
not.
creative, like you're creative in your own way, like just trying to like just create content and do your thing too. So and anywhere,
Absolutely. Like as
wherever
much as
creativity
as hard as it is to write a song and sing for 2.5, 3 minutes, it's really hard to like sit down and be like, all right, we're going to talk for 2 hours about whatever's on that whiteboard plus.
Yeah.
Plus.
We're just gonna
Because realistically, if you look at our board tonight, there's not 2 hours worth of content there.
And we haven't even touched on.
We haven't even got there.
Yeah.
Like we've bullshitted through Mexico so good that like we're smooth.
Yeah, we had a 1 hour conversation about
we only
Mexico.
got to day one.
I know. All right.
We're gonna be able to leave that up there till next podcast. Half of that.
You know,
it's like
now I just saw this on the whiteboard. Well, you were in Dubai. You did some falcon hunting.
Falcon hunting. That's some next level.
Let's
So,
hear this.
On Qatar Airway in like VVIP upstairs, you take this like nice stairway upstairs. The Falcons have their own seats. They're special little perches, and they sit on there with their hoods on, and like you don't touch them or anything. And then the Qataris sit beside them. So like they're riding in business class, ultra luxury, and I'm back in economy. Anyways, we get out into Dubai, and these things are heavy, surprisingly. The birds, you got your special little handle, and then you speak some Arabic to them, and then they just fly off and catch a rabbit or some sort of rodent or try to take down a camel.
Another bird, a camel.
That would be me.
You would be that.
This guy's got water.
Yeah. And then it flies back to you. It brings it back, drops it off, and then you put the hood on. It's like, oh, good bird. And
that's crazy.
That is something else.
And you give the guy $2,000.
Yeah, that's not insane. Like There's probably that's been going on for a million years there.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the falcon training. Now
Sean Ripester, yeah.
So, and we were talking about this.
Right, yeah.
So I got into depth asking Sean how he trains this bird, and basically he weighs the bird, right? And they don't weigh what you think they are. If that bird's hungry when you let it go, it'll hunt. If that bird's full, he won't hunt. He'll fly away because he's full, right? Basically, what he's looking for, it's like training your dog. He's hungry. He goes and hunts. He catches a rabbit, and you slide him a piece of meat, right? It's kind of, but I'm talking like Sean knows his bird's weight from like grams.
Wow.
Like if he's like 2.3 grams, like, and I'm making these numbers up, he's ready to hunt. But if he's 2.9 grams, that you're going to lose your bird, right? He'll just fly off and he won't come back because until he's hungry, right? Because that's what they're feeding them when they land on your hand. They're giving them that basically that treat to get your dog to sit, right?
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like he's got some pretty good hunting videos.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Where they're catching rabbits,
Yeah.
squirrels, but like those falcons are
No,
are
falconing. Yeah, falcons. I've always been a big fan of
Hardcore.
falcons, the bird in general. But like what they use eagles for, in some parts of the world, like they hunt like wolves with these things.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's still called falconing. I think the birding
Falconry.
or something. Yeah, but so you do it with the owls, I guess, and different types of birds, right? And eagles. But yeah, if you ever watch any of these eagles, what they can take down, like I've seen them pull goats off the side of a mountain, fly away with a goat. Like like you're looking at like.
Do those goats have big balls?
Not for long.
No, when a falcon picks them up.
That was a nutty goat.
I seen one, and I'm not sure what kind of bird it is, but they are obviously in Europe, and a deer runs across, and this bird that's got to have about an 8-foot wingspan goes out and grabs this
deer.
goat.
Wow.
Like
But
it is
especially when they take it off a
nothing.
mountain, then they because if they want.
Oh
to pick up the
I
ground,
watched this.
velocity.
The goats on the mountainside.
Yeah, they
and
can.
the falcons will come by, and these aren't hunted hunting with somebody, but these are just like wild birds, and they swoop by, and they'll grab a goat and throw them off the cliff, and then go down and eat them. Right,
Or-
so he's like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, wouldn't you?
Sometimes.
Seems
Or-
like a
yeah.
great plan of attack to me.
Or if
it
they
seems
pick
like
'em-
way more better, like hunting skills in my Iron Mike adventure.
I've seen
Don't stand
ones.
too close to the ledge, that's all.
I've seen ones where it's got to be like at least 40, 50 pound goat, and literally they can pick it up on high ground, so it has the enough room before it drags it to the ground where its wingspan can pick up the weight of it and continue to fly with it, because
No
it'd be
way.
harder to take off with it, right?
Oh, yeah,
You can't
for
land
sure.
on it and pick it up and then take off.
At
flapping its
work
wings.
one time we
but they
caught-
could, once their wings are open and they're already soaring and they got the velocity or whatever, they just grab it and hang on to it, and they
That's
can
crazy.
fly off with it.
We caught at work
Into the sunset.
a great horned owl at that it got wet and couldn't fly. So God rest his soul, Danny Gray, who I worked with for years and years and years, he went out and got this great horned owl. But the surprise, that's a huge bird. But when you grab a hold of that bird weighs nothing. Like you would be so shocked of how light this bird physically is, with hollow bones for it can fly. But it looks huge, right? Like, would you think like turkeys? Like when you see a turkey and you're like, that's a big turkey. That turkey weighs 20 pounds. Well, when you look at a great horned owl, that thing may weigh like 2.5 pounds, but it looks 20 pounds. Right? It's insane how like powerful those raptor claws are when they dig in. Don't look at me like that. You're messing with me now. You've been poking me all night.
What?
Get out of here.
All right, you two
That's
can't
some
say
serious
beside
stuff,
each other.
You don't answer my calls all week, and now you just want to stare at me?
I'm a busy guy.
I
Listen.
remember before you went to do this
Busy
job.
guy.
I'm sorry for hijacking this, but weren't you going to? We went for a falconing job or something as a falconer.
Well, I
You're like-
looked into it, like the Trenton Air Force Base. There was this job.
To get them off the
Yeah.
runway?
You were
I
going to
don't-
be the Army falconer?
It went. It didn't go
Afghanistan.
beyond
Yeah.
me applying for it and not hearing anything, but
But the thought was there.
the thought was
Like
there. I'm
the-
like, this is going to be a great career. I'm going to get
Yeah.
to bring
When
this bird
Aaron's
home.
like to the sniper, hold off a second.
After that, I actually went and looked into it too. I actually went and looked into like a course on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's
Really?
yeah. But I think there's not much of it around. Like you got to go to.
There's only so many airports.
My buddy
Yeah.
Pete Fierro works at the
Ferrero.
Fierro, like the car Fierro.
No.
He works. What is his dad's name? Diego. His dad's Italian.
sure it's not
Diego.
Fuego?
No, it's Diego. Diego. I've been fishing trips with him when he brought out the Diego. Slick man. But he works at Pearson Airport, and he would tell me stories about getting birds off the run. Like a chickadee could take down a 747 in like the wrong circumstances.
Oh yeah.
Like just full.
I had some friends of mine, actually, they were going on a trip to Jamaica, and they took off, and they had to turn around and have an emergency landing because they hit some Canada geese.
Ooh.
Oh,
Right?
that's
Those are
always
big birds.
that's like my biggest fear most of the time when I'm flying is taking off thinking like just please don't be birds, please don't be geese because you
You
hear
guys
about that's
wanna
like
know
the main thing to
secret
take down
time,
a plane.
I've
And
never been on an
you
airplane.
get
Secret
things
time.
like
Oh,
snow
really?
geese.
Never.
Snow geese will fly thousands.
No,
of
listen,
feet
you
in the
know
air,
my
right?
father. My
Yeah.
father tormented me from birth to about 36,
Yeah, sounds about right.
right? And he would be like some airline had crashed in 1988, and he'd be like, "Come in here, you got to watch this." Do you know what I mean? And he'd be like, "See, this is what happens when you go on an airplane. You go off the end of the tarmac, and you end up in the just Chicago River." And they'd be like, "Don't worry, only 96 of 102 people died. You could live." He's evil about that. These guys
Oh, yeah.
know. That's him, eh?
Yeah.
Just like the mind games, like
Yeah.
you could live.
I
4
need to-
people had lived. You could swim, can't you?
I need to see that guy again sometime.
Oh man,
You remember when we had to stop at
So
Graceland?
you don't fly, eh?
I would fly. I've just never been
would.
offered a trip enough to go. Like, do you know what I mean? When somebody's like, "Do you want to go to Cuba and sit on a beach for a week?" No. But if somebody was like, "Do you want to go to
South Africa and fish in the
Mexico and
world.
back.
like
Fish
it,
for
like
a week?
yeah," then I'd be like, "Oh, this may be worth dying for."
Strap on the Falcon and go.
Right? If somebody was like, "Do you want to go to Africa and like shoot animals out of a ground blind?" I'd be like, "That's probably worth dying for." I hope I die on the way back. My biggest fear is that the flight is going to be so traumatic that we're going to end up in like Tarzan,
What?
right?
What
Or
is that?
like
go.
northern
Tanzania?
Russia, right? Like
Tanzania?
somebody like what if Kyle Crothers
was that a
called right
place on
now
Earth?
and he's like, Under Armour is sending us to northern Russia. We're gonna shoot grizzly bears. I'd be in. I'd be like, "Kyle, I'm gonna pack my bags right now."
so you're
My
worth
problem
living.
is
Like it's
it'd
life's
be
worth
worth-
dying for.
that's right. That's like a trip of a lifetime,
True.
right? But what if I got there and I was like, "Oh, I'm not flying back," right? Like I can't just stay in northern Russia.
Russia has great winners,
That's true.
Skoligonkov.
right?
Right? I joined the KHL.
There
Like,
you
is
go.
that my plan?
Yeah.
Can't speak. I'll end up in Russian jail. And if you watch that on Netflix, that makes like an Alabama jail look like piecework. Like, no big deal, right?
It's true.
I think I'd rather go to Dubai and get my head chopped off than actually spend the whole 20 years in a Russian jail.
This is why you got to get that F-18. Get some-
Yeah, see, if Mark Hunter was on the tarmac and with the F-18 and he was like, "We're going," I'd be like, "All right, if you're gonna go, I'm gonna go." You met my grandfather, Mark,
Yeah.
right? So my mom was born August 5th, 1960. He was in Thunder Bay working as a sheet metal worker, building like air ducts in mines. He got a call from his wife that she was going into labor. He gets to, nope, wrong story. It was my Aunt Carla who was born on December 23rd. He gets a phone call that
You know your
she's
aunt.
going into labor in the Peterborough Hospital. My grandfather, being the great man he is, he's going to fly home. He gets to the Thunder Bay Airport in the worst snowstorm ever. He gets there. He does his. I guess there's not like bag checks back in the day. The 2 pilots are out on the runway fixing this plane, right? The stewardess comes in and says, "We're going to take off in 15 minutes." Half to 75% of the people are like, "We are not getting on there. We'll wait till the storm clears." My grandfather picks up his 2 bags and goes, "If the 2 pilots are going to risk their life, I'm going with them out onto the tarmac."
I got a dog humping my leg right now.
Yeah, I felt that there just a second ago. Would you go? 1964?
Well, at least the planes were newer back then.
Sure.
Newer.
Like the problem is now is that people are still driving around in a plane from 1964.
Oh yeah, Air Canada for sure. I do a little over 100 flights a year on
Yeah.
Air Canada, and yeah, like these
Most of the
planes
planes are from like 70s, I think.
they're
right?
old birds.
Yeah. So they've been just patching these things up since like the 70s. And,
Yeah.
And they didn't make good metal in the 70s. Like that's why there's,
Well,
not a,
everything's plastic now.
Well, here's the thing too, right? If you look at like technology, there's more technology in Amber's Apple Watch than they had to put somebody on the moon,
Sure.
right? Let alone like a 747 from 1971, right?
Amy had a good point too. It's fascinating that you actually wanted to buy a jet, but you've never been
I
in
didn't
a
want to
plane
go in
before.
the jet.
Like,
Just want to own it.
There was
Just
a-
wanted to wrap
yeah.
it in
Right.
fear fishing.
Man, it's not like, I'm Donald Trump and I'm going to buy a grizzly bear. I'm not going to go pet the thing. I'm going to get that idiot over there to go pet it for me, right? Like, you know what I mean? That's not how... I wasn't going to fly it myself. I wasn't going to put it together. I wasn't even going to park it. I was just going to be like the owner. Right?
Nice,
It's
yeah.
kind of like being an owner of a sports franchise. I'm not really going to get out there and pitch for the Yankees. I'm just going to go sit in those nice box seats and watch this crash.
There you go.
Now,
Yeah.
you guys, in the last 2
Yes.
weeks, a lot of moves have been made. You guys are officially living together.
We are.
We're at a relationship update point of the FearFishing Webcast. How's it going so far?
You're going to have to scare this question. I don't know.
Amy.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
for
you
Amber.
almost called
Oh.
her Amber.
I'm trained. I actually called an ex-girlfriend by the ex-girlfriend one time. I learned my lesson real
The
fast.
ex or girlfriend.
The ex.
Real fast. We in the middle of a fight too. You know when you've been like arguing with.
that's
Yeah.
The best time
the
to
worst.
burst.
Wow. Worst mistake of my
I do
life.
that on purpose sometimes.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
It's like,
Now, you guys are
living
officially
on the
moved
edge,
in.
eh?
yeah.
You've done some painting.
You remind me of her. You remember what happened to her? No, sorry.
How's it going so far?
Good.
Has anybody tossed anybody's shit yet?
No.
Do you guys haven't had like a vote where we're getting rid of this couch? Nothing that's exciting has happened?
We've tried to pick, but like, I don't know. It's like we both, like, actually, we just still have a lot of stuff. Because, I don't know. Both of us have
Is it gonna fit?
some all right stuff, some nice stuff. So it's just like, well, maybe we could try to make this work here or make that work there. Or just like,
So far
I like
it's
your
so
this
good.
and
It's going good.
I like my this and yeah.
Who picked the color of the walls?
Ooh.
Whichever one. Did you guys did you have like I'll do the bathroom and I'll do the kitchen?
I've
or-
actually had a lot more say in that than like almost ever before, I think. Like I was trying to like, oh, pick the colors, and she's like, oh no, I want your input. So we've just kind of come to an agreement on like, oh, maybe this color, maybe that color, and I don't know if anyone's actually picked either, if we both did,
Now,
or I don't even know.
In past relationships, do you guys feel that like because you're doing this at an older age, you're more like negotiable?
I just really don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta talk into the mic.
Sorry. I just really don't care. Like there's a lot to be said for an actual decent relationship to me.
Yeah, there is.
Wow.
Right?
100%.
That was deep.
Yeah.
Stuff is just stuff, like
Yeah,
kind of.
it's just stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be with him in a cardboard box than in, like,
Aw.
Yeah, that's cute.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
I never took her home to my cardboard box before though. Maybe once she saw it, then she wouldn't. She wouldn't think the same.
That's
but
the last stop.
yes, yeah.
Brian, you got a car for sale.
Oh yeah, I do. I think.
Where
I think I'm gonna sell it.
Woody threw a number out there at the beginning of the show, and you weren't
Yeah.
prepared to sell it for that, even though that was your asking price.
Yeah, I think I'd take that for it.
What do we got?
That's-
He was 8,500.
yeah.
What kind of car we got?
1948 Ford.
1948 Ford. Super
Yeah.
Deluxe.
Fisherman.
Get a
If
share
it did
of-
fly, we'd buy it.
Is original flathead V8 motor.
No way.
Yeah, it's
It's beautiful.
You can
It's
almost
just
see it
up the
from
road.
here.
I seen it the other day.
Did ya?
Amber was like, "Is that Brian's car?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's Brian's car."
We'll take
Yeah.
it for a rip.
Take her for a rip, eh?
You should hear it.
We should wrap it.
Yeah.
Wrap
Yeah.
it
This is
up.
a good investment for you.
Wrap
Yeah.
it. We tow the boat. Do you think it tow my boat?
No.
It would.
Brian's
Maybe
having
not
a
for a
shit
long
fit.
time, but it
Put-
would.
Tow the boat and do the quarter mile
Yeah,
in like
I was gonna
14
say,
seconds.
yeah, sure. You can really like. Well, there's a lot of guys out there that say, it's not a hot rod unless it has a flathead in it. And
Yeah.
with that motor, you can actually do some stuff with it that will, do some pretty pretty nice stuff. But you might want to take the bias ply tires off it, throw some radials on there, and you got to towing a boat with a vehicle that doesn't have like any power steering or anything like that. That's like
Super fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let anybody who's still listening to us have fun. 1948
yeah,
Ford
yep,
8500.
yep. Running.
How do they get a hold of you?
I guess they can call me.
Where is the ad? I saw an ad on Facebook. No, it was
yeah,
you posting a picture.
Yeah, I
I know he
posted the
put his picture. It was on
What are you
Kijiji, but I
selling?
think I took it down. I was just kind of like, because
See,
I
this
love
is
the
the-
car, right?
like-
So part of me
Yeah.
thinks if I don't sell it, then it's like whatever. But if I do sell it, there's a lot of stuff that I could do with that money. Let's say.
You guys could take it to the driving.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drive-in. We
Like
should
how
do
awesome would that be?
That would be pretty awesome. Yeah.
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 A little bit of nostalgia
Wait till
there.
wait till the
night.
movie just till it starts, and then drive in there with that motor, just with the cherry
Yeah.
bombs, and brah, 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 brah. Make everybody happy.
We got some announcements to make. Bowmanville Tackle Swap on March 10th. It's going to be bigger and better than ever.
Oh yeah.
There's a ton of companies. I talked to Kyle Carruthers tonight. There's a ton of companies who are on board to give stuff away. There's going to be some giveaways, some exciting stuff. Bowmanville Tackle Swap. Amber, what do we got going on November 24th?
What are you talking about?
Are you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Really?
We are going to be at Finn McCool's.
What time?
Phil, or AKA Phil McCool's.
This
A
Phil
little
guy.
Aluminum.
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 I'm not gonna remember how to say aluminum after this.
Brian's
No.
going to play.
I'm gonna play.
We're going to meet and greet.
It's Finn McCool's in Oshawa
Maybe Woody will come.
on Ritson Road North.
He'll be in
Oh,
Dubai.
I'm in the
gonna-
desert.
You know what? If he's in the
I haven't
desert,
jammed with
we're
Woody
going to
in
prank
years.
call that country. We're going to call the palace and be like, is Woody there?
That's funny.
That would be awesome.
No.
We were going to do that for sure.
No, I haven't
be
jammed
awesome.
with this man in some good times. So one day we're gonna have to do.
You
something.
guys should do a show together,
We
like a
should,
yeah.
reunion tour.
Yeah, you know what? Slowly getting some life balance.
Do you still have a kid?
Oh yeah.
Oh, a kid. I thought you said a kid.
I know. That's what I thought too. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm like, I hope so. Like, oh
Yeah,
man.
I'm sure you didn't like just to sell him off.
Before we get too far
$8,500
off of
bucks.
this, for people who want to attend the party,
You got to call in.
call 905-576-9565 and quote Fear Fishing.
Anybody who's still
Reserve.
listening, I promise there's going to be streamside hats given away. There is going to be, I talked to the Daiwa Canada crew, there is going to be Daiwa giveaways. There, if you were listening right now, you were getting a hot tip. Call that number, make the reservation because we're going to give away some awesome prizes. There's going to be beer. We're going to have a
Beer.
good time.
Good music.
Sean McCall will be there. You can buy him a double whiskey.
We're gonna get drunk.
Get in while you can. It gets pretty
It's going to be
busy
a good
there.
time. It is get busy.
Yep.
Book on the bar side. They'll know where to send you. Brian, you're playing.
Oh yeah.
Fire.
You got it.
That's my favorite song Brian sings.
Is it?
Oh,
right
yeah.
there. It is my jam.
Nice.
I'll
This is
tell
my
you.
jam.
I'll tell you. When we went and seen you a few weeks ago, it was amazing. You
Thanks, man.
are truly one of the most talented musicians I've ever seen.
He really is.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
unbelievable.
Appreciate that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Nice.
It is going to be a
That's-
great night. If nobody shows up, Sean and I are going to do awesome on the Daiwa giveaways. We're going to drink
Taking
a
it
ton of
home,
beer.
baby.
So, whether you guys come or not, Sean and I are going to have a good
Do you
time.
think
Yeah,
we can
we
get
are.
Jamie Kate dancing again?
Jamie Kate danced on the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend's super hot, so.
We're gonna like.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Who's
is.
gonna drive? We're gonna have to get
She
Mark.
was
and-
vibing.
Yeah.
Mark,
That was
Mark
good.
Hunter is going to have to do the FearFishing DD. Maybe we can
Do you
borrow
think he
Brian's
could-
car. He can just do the laps.
There we go.
Do you think Mark will drive us home?
Yeah.
You think so?
We just told him a hostage.
Okay.
He needs me
Then
to
I'm
put
drinking
bait on
tequila.
his
North Carolina
You need-
Amber.
yeah,
is
North
coming.
Carolina
He's
Amber.
got to borrow his wife's truck.
You want to hear in North Carolina? So we go to
do.
No, no.
the Bassmaster Classic, right? And we go into a stadium, maybe the size of like the Memorial Center or where the Generals play.
Sure, yeah.
Sit down. I walk by you and I went for the first round. They have not like this is the tall boy.
King Can.
That's King Can.
It's like
This thing is like this. So I got a Bush Light. Amber got a margarita. So we watched like halfway through the weigh-in, and Sean and I go for another lap. I walk by and I get another Bush Light, and I'm like, I guess I'll get her, Frank the Tank a margarita. Bring that back to her. She goes outside the building. She sees Gerald Swindle's truck and boat drive by. She's screaming out the window how she's going to marry him. We had to edit her out of the vlog because Amber wouldn't shut up. Right? We get her back. There's a live video of us all dancing in our Airbnb. Then we take her to the Ike Live party. The Ike Live party describes it as the Ike Live party and Amber on their next podcast. I have videos
Actually,
where Amber doesn't know what planet she's
the
on.
Canadian.
Right?
Yeah.
I have the best story that I can't tell on this podcast about Seth Fighter and the representative from Daiwa, Northern USA. But it involves Amber and
Mustache ride?
and a mustache ride.
You just told the story.
Amber dry humped Steve Kennedy's leg.
I did not.
You did.
Oh.
I've never seen anybody. So
Rode him like
anybody
a
knows,
bull, baby.
Anybody knows Steve Kennedy, great angler, kind of like the shy, kind of nice guy. I walk in. Amber is dry humping his leg, telling him how happy he looks while he's fishing on the Bassmaster Elite Series. And I look at him and I go, I am so sorry, Steve. That's my wife. And Steve goes, that's not a problem. This party went on. That party went on.
Yeah. Well,
Sean even rapped in a Night Live music video with Pete Gluzik. We get up the
Alright.
next
Throwing
morning.
hands.
We
Is
get
this
up
what we have in store for the
Sean, you
24th?
guys-
A little bit of
you
some
guys
of
come
this.
to the
I was
Bassmaster
like
Classic.
a backup dancer.
Listen, we load Amber into the car in South Carolina. She wakes up in Vermont. We start telling her stories about how the night is unfolded, and she doesn't believe us. And we call Brian the Carpenter in New Jersey and Mike Iconelli, who hosted the party. And they were like, is this South Carolina Amber on the phone?
We had the best
So-
time at it.
Oh, it was amazing.
So if someone comes in to Finn McCool's on the 24th and quotes this story from listening, then you're gonna rap for them.
No, I don't rap.
You're going to sell
I
the
just-
car for $8,200.
I'm a
Also, yeah. Amber might hump their leg.
Sounds like a
If the
good
tequila's
night.
good.
And I'm going to stand at the door and apologize to everybody who leaves.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna.
think we got through everything. Deer Hunt and Iron Mike is alive. Martin
out there.
Horniak messaged me about 2 hours ago saying Iron Mike was on the highway again. Let's hope he doesn't get hit by a
It's on
car.
the highway.
Does anybody
He was
else hear a
chasing
helicopter?
Yeah. It's
Really?
From Mexico. We talked about this
Cartel
earlier.
is coming
That's
for you.
my
Did you hear a
washing
helicopter?
machine.
That's what happens
It's
when
my
you
washing
talk
machine.
about.
I'm getting all wigged out over here.
They're on to me.
Holy shit!
They
they're
found
on
us.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
You busted the goat plan.
Oh.
You
was-
lit
was.
spilled the beans
Goat
on the
balls.
gigantic goats
Yeah.
full of cartel
No,
property.
That wasn't my fault.
Cocaine balls.
I did it for you.
I know you did. Anyway, final thought.
Vote for the goat with the smallest balls.
That's like I said.
He's gonna win
Amber,
the race.
Cocoa nuts would have been better.
Coconuts.
Woody, you got a final thought for the webcast?
I sure do. I have a question back to Mexico. Just really back. When you're transporting your gear down there, like, why didn't you take your own boat? Why didn't you just ship your boat down? Cost?
To ship the boat?
Whoa.
Yeah,
this
to
guy,
ship a boat.
Whoa,
would've been-
whoa. You haven't run your boat 3 times this year. That boat is not in performance shape.
Like, if you had the money, you could ship it down. There
Yeah.
wouldn't be any restrictions, right?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can ship it down. Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That
No,
was
no,
my-
yeah, you could send your boat. I could have drove my boat down there.
From 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
down
yeah.
the St. Lawrence, down the eastern seaboard and around?
Well, no, I would have trailered my boat
Okay.
down.
Right.
Right?
So,
Like
yeah.
just like the Americans did. We would have hooked up with the Americans at the border. And
I
we all
have
would've come there
I have a
together.
hard time feeling the
What is it like crossing
the
the border with a
Canadian
boat?
military following you
It's a
to Mexico
deal.
for it doesn't
Yeah.
get stolen.
Yeah, you got to have all your paperwork.
Like
You know
carnet
this.
and everything.
Yeah, you got to
Amber,
have
final
Oh,
thought?
Somebody's asking about the RLM box. No RLM box tonight?
No, we don't have one to give away tonight.
Sorry.
I'll give away.
Sorry, Billy.
I'll give away another one on the next one.
My final thought, call Finn McCool's.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast of a time. We're going to do so much. We're gonna have a great time. Brian's
Mark
gonna
and
play.
Joan are going to be there.
Mark and Joan are
Amy's
gonna be
gonna
there.
We're gonna
Amy?
light her up.
I'm actually not going to be there.
What?
You said you were.
I know.
We get so many messages about you coming.
No.
What is going on? I'll be
Oh,
there.
Sorry.
Okay, well,
Brian
I'll
will
be
be
there,
there.
and that's the most important.
Amy, final thought.
No, I have nothing.
Come on, give us a
Really?
final relationship thought.
A
A relationship tip
thought?
about bending, about being 50-50.
Easy.
is?
Oh, well, what?
Bending.
I
Wait,
was going
what?
to ask you
Like-
to expand on that question.
Like bending, letting things slide, like making room, being
It's
more adjustable.
compromise. It's all about
Compromise. That's the word I'm
compromise.
looking for.
Absolutely.
Bending.
I want to get to the making it slide part.
Brian,
Make it slide a lot.
Right?
final
Compromise
thoughts.
and make
That
it
works.
Not much for final thoughts, I guess. If you're local around here this week, on Thursday, November 15th, I'm around the corner at local number 90 again. 8 o'clock.
We could go.
No kids.
You guys coming? No
Yeah.
kids?
Yeah, we
Nice.
can go. We
There
can
you
do that
go.
one.
Yay.
Local number 90.
That's
Yep.
what
8
night?
o'clock.
Thursday.
Thursday the 15th.
Where do you play the night before the 24th? The 23rd?
Arthur's.
Arthur.
That's in Coburg.
That's in Coburg.
We
Yep,
probably do that
Arthur's
one
Pub.
too. We got kids.
Yep. Bring the kids out there.
We
How
do.
does that feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, our kids aren't cool,
No.
especially the little one.
He would dance like
Oh. Really?
none other.
Oh, yeah, he
yeah.
would.
Throw him a shaker or tambourine or something.
Oh,
Oh,
my God.
he would be
yeah.
A couple
in-
shots of Jaeger, more like it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Roll.
My final thought, Woody, Brian, it's really nice that we've got back together. We had this
Yeah.
conversation. This has been pretty good.
Yeah.
This is
We're
like
gonna have to do this again.
nostalgia.
I foresee
Yeah.
a group hug here.
That's-
Really?
I thought a group like
What is
This-
Oh,
this-
God.
I thought you
Tip,
guys were
tip,
gonna
tip.
start punching each other.
Tip,
Amber.
tip, tip. Who's going skiing?
Wow.
Huh?
I
You're
just-
going
that-
skiing.
I thought you guys were gonna get.
Wow,
it.
you went deep on that one.
No, but it was the. It
Amber,
was,
it's deep into the show. How many of those?
I haven't even drank this whole thing. It's just too sweet.
Wow. Anybody wants to come out on the 24th,
There's that
this is what you
gesture
can
that-
expect from Amber. And that's only a quarter of a drink through. Imagine if you bought her
I'm not
3
even.
shots.
Not even. I
Anyway,
thought-
my final thought is really good to reconnect. This has been a great webcast. Really good idea.
yeah, you having this guy back out of here? Or what?
Yeah, you're going to have to come back out again.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Back again in a month and a half.
Dude, it's going to be a long trip out
Yeah.
there.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Don't screw
Yeah.
up.
No.
Send pictures of Falcons.
I will.
Don't
Yes.
screw up. That's all I can say.
Guys, girls, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. If you want to catch past episodes of the FearFishing Webcast, go to SoundCloud, YouTube, or iTunes. We will see you in 2 weeks tonight with relationship updates from Brian and Amy. Good night.